Here's some more bad news for you. Eric Cantor went on the Sunday news programs on Sunday, and he went and talked to Chris Wallace and Fox News about the sequester.
Okay.
So he's basically, all these Republicans are crying about the sequester.
Right.
They're blaming it on Obama, saying that he's the one that pushed it through. He's the one that loves the sequester.
Okay.
And the Republicans don't like it anymore.
Even though Obama's making speech after speech saying, let's do something about the sequester.
I mean, here's the thing. He could have done something about it, but he didn't.
Right.
So that's another story that we can get into and talk for hours. But they're blaming it on him now. They're saying that they hate the sequester probably because it cuts the defense budget.
Yeah.
So I want to give you a quote, because what Eric Cantor said was, instead of cutting or going through the sequester, we should instead just do entitlement cuts.
Of course.
And that would solve our problem. So let me give you his quote. What we need to have happen is leadership on the part of the president and the White House to come to the table finally and say, we're going to fix the underlying problem that's driving our deficit. He continues to say, we know that he didn't say this properly, but this is his quote. We know that is the entitled programs and the unfunded liability that they are leaving on this generation and the next. What can we fix? What can we reduce in funding that instead of cutting entitlement programs budgets, we can do instead? So let's fix and cut Medicare Part D.
Okay.
Which cost the government, and back in 2008, it cost the government $49.3 billion that year.
And a portion of the Medicare Part D is the insurance companies, something about the insurance companies and the way that they purchase prescription medications.
Well, basically the insurance companies are pricing different prescription drugs a specific way through Medicare Part D. So there are some projected expenditures from 2009 to 2018, and those are estimated to be $727.3 billion. We can't cut that? We can't cut that instead of Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare?
Right.
How about the bloated defense budget? So there was a proposed budget for the defense for the 2014 fiscal year, and that's supposed to be $526.6 billion. Now, you may say, Jason, that is lower than it was last year.
Yeah.
But if you look in 2006, the defense budget was only $419.3 billion.
Right.
And we were in 2 wars.
Yeah.
Now we're out of Iraq.
Yeah.
We're winding down in Afghanistan. And we have over $100 billion more. So how about we cut the oil subsidies, which cost the taxpayers $4 billion a year?
Yeah, let's do that immediately.
They don't need it. Let me tell you about these oil companies. The big 5 oil companies, which is BP, Chevron, ConocoPhillips, ExxonMobil, and Shell, they made a combined total of $137 billion in 2011.
Yeah, that's more money than they would ever need.
Why do we have to give them $4 billion?
Right.
That doesn't make any sense to me. So last year, there was a study that last year they made $375 million every day.
Yeah.
Every day they made $375 million. This really blew my mind. The big 5, like I just mentioned to you, their combined profits, not revenue, but profits, from 2001 to 2011, so 10 years, was over $1 trillion.
The profits.
Profits.
Okay.
Trillion with a T. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Why are we giving these people subsidies? They don't need it. They clearly don't need it.
Right.
We can remove that money and we can put it into other programs, like maybe building roads and bridges.
Yeah.
Maybe going to education, things like that. So a lot of people are saying that we need to cut entitlements such as Social Security. So everybody's going crazy about Social Security, although it does have, I believe, a $4 trillion surplus.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's some incredible amount of money.
It is funded for a while.
If we cut off the Social Security payouts from like we're paying every check into Social Security. If we cut that off, it would still be good through 2032.
Right.
We can pay it in full to 2032.
Mm-hmm.
And even after that, I believe it's up to 2045.
Yeah.
We can pay 90% of the Social Security.
Right.
Up through 2045.
Yeah. Well, we're supposedly supposed to cut that now.
Well,
according to them.
Yeah, we're supposed to cut it. So the reason why everybody's going crazy over it is they're saying we have no money,
Mm-hmm.
it won't last that long, and it's because there's a payroll tax cap. So they actually just raised it this year.
Yeah.
They raised it to $113,000. So if you make over $113,000,
Mm-hmm.
any dollar you make over that
Yeah.
does not go to the payroll tax. I'm sorry, the Social Security payroll tax.
Okay.
So the Center of Economic and Policy Research did a study, and they found that if the cap was lifted from $113,700 to $250,000,
Yeah.
then it would only affect 1 in 75 workers, which is basically 1.3% of the population. The top 1%.
Yeah.
That's who it affects.
Okay.
If they raise it up to $250,000. And what this would essentially do is make Social Security solvent forever.
Yeah.
So that solves the problem.
Right.
Right there.
For that.
For Social Security in general.
Yeah. Yes.
You raise the Social Security payroll tax cap
Mhm.
from $113,700
And it pays for itself.
to $250,000, and it's solved it
So okay, so we don't have to cut Social Security
at all.
We can remove the tax
Subsidies.
for oil companies.
Mhm.
We can reduce our bloated defense budget.
I mean, we need to have a defense budget.
Of course, we
But
need to.
We don't need $526.6 billion.
Right, and I also saw a chart, and I can't remember, and I apologize, I can't remember where it was from, but I can find the link for it and put it in the description, that we spend more on defense than every single country with an army put together.
It's the next 26 in line.
The next 26, that's exactly
Combined.
what it is. Right. We don't need to spend that much money on defense. We're only spending that much money because of defense contractors that are requesting the contracts, like Boeing,
Yeah.
Lockheed Martin,
Mm-hmm.
where they're saying we want to build more planes. Give
Well,
us more
that's how
money.
they make their money.
That's how they make their money, and it's ridiculous.
So here's a couple more quotes from Cantor, and then we're done with the story. He says, "We've always said sequester is not the best way to go about spending reductions." They did not say that, by the way.
Okay.
In the beginning, they said, "Well, the sequester was like an end-all, be-all.
Mhm.
If you don't do your job, basically the government's setting up to do it for you."
Yeah.
It was, as you know, a default mechanism. Excuse me. Like I just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Because Congress couldn't do the job it was supposed to do a couple years ago. So I got news for you, Eric Cantor. You are the government. You are the people responsible for not doing your job,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why the sequester went into effect.
Right.
If you didn't want the sequester to go into effect, you should have done your damn job.
Yeah.
So this article was written and published on the Huffington Post. So there was a top Democratic aide that actually commented on this and said, "Our caucus would not accept entitlement cuts to replace the sequester. That's just replacing crappy cuts with crappy cuts."
But you know that they're going to do it anyway. Because
I'm hoping they don't.
they're going to, because Republicans are going to demand and pressure and threaten to say, oh, we'll shut the government down if you don't do something.
Obama has already gone to the Republicans and said, "I will cut entitlement programs."
Yeah. Well, he wants to.
Yeah,
He's always wanted to.
yeah.
So they're going to do it. It's just a matter of, can we ride this out until Obama's out of office and pray that we get somebody in that's going to do actual reform?
Mhm.
So we can assume that we might get somebody like Elizabeth Warren, who's
I
actually
would
polling
love
really well.
Elizabeth Warren.
She's polling very well against Hillary Obama. Hillary Clinton.
Well, you know what? That's
It's a weird Freudian slip.
That's a great Freudian slip because it went from Bush to Obama, which is the same, basically, his policies, and then it's
Yeah.
going to go from Obama to Clinton, which is going to be the same policies.
Well, if you think about it
probably
this
just
way,
worse.
yeah. So if you think about it this way, after Reagan, it was Bush, and then it was Clinton, Clinton, Bush, Obama, Clinton. It's just a cycle.
Right.
It needs to be somebody new.
I saw a tweet the other day, and it was like, it said, I don't remember exactly, but it was referring to what you were just talking about,
Mhm.
and it said something to the effect of, after Clinton wins in 2016,
Mm-hmm.
then Chelsea Clinton will run, and then after 2000, what is it, 2024?
Yeah.
And then in 2032, then Sasha or Malia Obama will run for president.
You know, it wouldn't surprise me that we may end up with 60 years
of three families
of
running
three
the
families
government.
running the entire country. So,
Yep.